In the first part of this series, we discussed the history of glass breaking effects. In this second part, I'll demonstrate how I approached the problem in Receiver 2, starting with the fracture patterns. The most realistic approach would be to do something like finite element analysis to determine stress patterns, but my last game took almost 10 years to make because I went down this kind of tech rabbit hole. I decided to time box this feature to 2 weeks and try to keep it simple. The simplest method I could think of was to manually draw a fracture pattern based on reference pictures, and then procedurally cut away the lines that extend past the borders of the glass. If you'd like to see that in-game, you can enable the debug menu with Ctrl F12, and then change the glass from normal to cookie cutter clipped. Maybe switch to the debug gun while you're at it, and turn on God mode so you don't get injured by flying shards. Now, if you click on any glass, you can see how the pattern gets clipped to the window shape. To actually make it look like glass again, I broke these polygons down into triangles, and extruded them back into 3D models. I handled follow-up impacts by treating each individual shard like it was a window, so that you could break the glass recursively. This already looked like decent laminated glass, but I wanted players to be able to shoot holes in it, and jump through it, like the beginning of Prince of Persia 2. The simplest way to start was to add physics to all the glass shards, and have them fall out in sequence, like we saw in Red Faction. I still wanted to show off the recursive fracturing, so I added a basic support system so that border shards don't fall out and can be shot again. Real glass still seems to hold together a lot more than this, so I extended the support system so that shards can support other shards. This lets us make smaller holes that chain together into larger ones. I added some collision detection with the player, so that supported shards will still fall if you walk into them.
Oh man. Hey, it worked! Frick yeah, it worked!
Finally, I added an invisible health variable to the windows. I could determine whether they block movement or not.
Alright, let's give it a go. Actually, I'm trying to go this way, so let's just go this way.
When the player hits a window, it checks their impact force against their surface area, and breaks the window if that value is greater than the window's health.
Alright, yeah, you gotta jump.
The windows start with randomly varied health, so some of them are weak enough that you can sprint and jump through them, and some aren't. If you want to be able to just walk through a window, you'll have to shoot it a few times first. There were a number of other details I wanted to add, but this is when I ran out of my 2 weeks.
Probably shouldn't have walked on the glass.
I had to move on to other features, like robot damage and breakable lights. I'm planning to make videos about those as well, so be sure to subscribe if you'd like to watch them. I'm not sure how many I'll do, so hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any. Receiver 2 is available now on Steam and the Humble Store, so check it out if you'd like to try shooting the windows.